are going to do something called a community circle. Has anyone ever heard of that before? Tested. You've heard of it? What is it? Can you explain?
It's like a circle where you, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a circle where somebody, where a teacher asks you questions, and you pass the toy around, and whoever has the toy can only talk.
That's right. So I'm going to repeat what he said. So for community circle, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and you guys will each get a chance to answer the question. So don't worry, you'll get a turn. And if the ball is in your hand, that means it's your turn to speak, okay? If the ball is not in your hand, voice level 0, and you're waiting and listening respectfully as your classmate or myself is talking, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, and when I count down to 3, I want you to stand up quietly. Place yourself in a circle when I count down to 3, okay? You're going to go around all of the desks, all right? 3, 2, 1. So I need Charlie, Juliana, and Mark, and Isaiah to go stand on that side of the room.
And Edgar.
And Edgar.
Charlie over Edgar and Mark over here. No, over there, Edgar.
So this is Sparkle.
No.
All right. So it looks like we kind of made a circle. I think we need to kind of spread out to that side a little more. Good. Okay. Keep going, make it bigger. I want the whole circle. Try to fill it in as much as you can.
Scoot that way a little.
Christian, scoot that way. Nathan and Bella and Lucy, walk that way. Yep, that way around the room. Much better.
Be that close.
I need you guys close enough so that you can pass it to your neighbors. So we don't want too big of gaps. Okay, so
Now, Bella, you're too far away to Nathan.
don't worry about it, Isaiah. She's okay right now. Okay, Cheston, go ahead and scoot closer. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Okay, can you guys all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start out with a fun question. This will be easy for you to answer, hopefully. If it's not, that's okay. If you need to pass because you can't think of an answer, you can pass as well, okay? So my first question I'm going to ask you guys is, if you could be any animal, what would that animal be? Okay, I'm going to start out. If I could be any animal, I would be a fox.
If I could be any animal, I'll be a hedgehog.
If I could be any animal, I could be a hedgehog.
If I be any animal, I will be a panther.
If I could be any animal, I would be a scorpion.
Scorpion,
If I
nice.
could be any animal, I would
Juliana.
be Arctic.
To be over here.
Outback. If I could be an animal, I would be not predator. Maybe not predator. I would be a cheetah.
Cheetah, nice.
If I could be any animal, I would be a turtle. If I could be any animal, I would be a dragon.
Dragon, awesome.
Dragon? Okay, dragon. If I was any animal, I would be a horse.
A horse?
If I could be any animal, I would be a cat. If I could be any animal, I would be a tiger.
Very good.
If I would be any animal, I'm sure I would be a T-Rex.
T-Rex.
If I could be any animal, I would be a Arctic fox.
Arctic fox.
If I could be any animal, I would be a fox.
Fox as well. Okay, great. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm going to wait till everyone's attention is back on me so I can ask the next question. This one might take a little bit more thinking, but it shouldn't be too hard. So, what I'm going to ask you is, if you could pick any classroom activity that you've done so far this year, what would be your favorite classroom activity? and why is it your favorite? Okay?
Definitely pass.
All right, I'm going to start with Montusaga, okay? Pass? Okay. You can think about it as it's going around.
Ketchup and pickles.
Oh, why is it ketchup and pickles? What do you like about that?
Sometimes I can help my friends.
Because you get to help friends? That's great.
Ketchup and pickles because I get the fun activity.
You get to choose your fun activity? That's nice. Thank you. Lucy?
My favorite classroom activity is playing on my iPad because I can do fun stuff on it.
Fun stuff? Yep. You get a lot.
My favorite classroom activity used to be freedom, but now it's ketchup and pickles.
Nice.
My favorite classroom activity is indoor recess.
Hold on, Nathan. Why is it indoor recess? Can you explain?
I just went on for a show.
You what?
Being on Destiny.
Oh, being on Destiny, working on Destiny. Thank you. Okay. All right, once you get back to your spot, then you can share Christian. Go ahead, Christian.
My favorite activity would be math class.
Math facts. What do you like about math facts?
I don't know, I just like math.
You just like math? Okay.
Math facts because math is my favorite subject in school.
Very good. I love it.
Right, because I like catching my food and throw it up in the air.
What was that?
Right, because I like throwing my fruit up in the air and catching it.
What activity is that? In class activity is being in class activity.
Break.
Oh, break time. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Thank you.
Snack bar. Mine's break.
Break time. What do you like about break, Bailey?
No, don't want it. I'll neck you.
Can you not think of anything right now? That's okay. It's good to rest your brains. Breaks are really good to have. Passing. Okay. Mark?
My favorite classroom activity is ketchup and pickles because we might get to go on Destiny on Friday and we might have it and it's really fun.
Yep, very good. Charlie, favorite classroom activity?
My favorite classroom activity is all of them.
All of them? Oh, well that's great. Isaiah?
My favorite classroom activity is math because it's easy to me.
It's easy to you? Good.
My favorite class activity is art.
Art. Very good.
My favorite activity
Destiny as well. What do you like about Destiny, Juliana? A lot of games and activities. It's good.
My favorite classroom activity is writing because I can share it.
You can share it. I like it. It's very good. Okay, well thank you guys. You guys had a lot of great activities that you enjoyed doing. So before we move into the next one, I just want to go ahead and explain what we're about to do and talk about. So you know that during our learning time, that sometimes we have situations that happen, you know, sometimes we'll have students that are being disruptive, or maybe you get in an argument because, you know, that happens sometimes. However, that can disrupt learning when people are arguing or talking or being loud and it's not being respectful to other classmates. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and before you answer it, I want you just to think about it. I'll give you a couple seconds to think, and then you can answer if you'd like to answer. And I want you to be specific about your answers. I want you to give an example, but do not use a student's name, because this is a safe place and a safe environment where we're sharing our concerns with each other, okay? And we're gonna be able to help each other out. So, the question I want to ask, are we all focused?
Yeah.
Okay. How does it make you feel when your classmates are arguing during learning time? Okay, think about that. How does it make you feel? You can explain how it makes you feel, and you can also give a specific example, but not using people's names, okay?
Eliza.
Oh, Eliza, excuse me. Eliza, can I start with you? Okay,
Pass. I don't
pass, okay. Could you say that a little louder?
It makes me feel disrupted.
Disrupted? Yeah, that's good. Thank you for sharing.
It makes me feel sad.
Makes you feel sad. Isaiah, how does it make you feel when classmates are arguing with each other during learning?
Mad.
Makes you feel mad? Charlie?
Sad.
Sad? Thank you for sharing that.
off task.
Off task. It makes you get off task and unfocused. Yeah, it really does.
Disappointed when they're talking.
Disappointed.
It makes me feel awkward.
Makes you feel awkward. Yeah,
There
it
you
is.
go.
Disrespect.
Disrespected. Christian.
It makes me
Okay. Nathan, how does it make you feel?
makes me feel very weird inside.
Makes you feel funny inside?
Like right now.
Like uncomfortable? Pretty much? Makes you feel
No,
uncomfortable?
like I can't feel my guts.
Makes me feel what Isaiah said and Charlie said, but mixed together, mad sad.
So mad and sad together? Okay, that's good. Thank you, Bella. Lucy?
My classmates fight in the middle of learning. I feel sad.
Makes you feel sad, yeah.
Mad.
Mad, thanks, Delante. Oh, let's not throw it, let's pass it, okay guys? No more throwing. Just a second. Misael?
Kind of happy because sometimes I can catch up.
Happy.
Sometimes I can catch up.
Catch up on, explain.
Like I can catch up on work if somebody's arguing in the middle of things. I can catch up.
Or it's like, what about learning time when the teacher's trying to talk? That's hard, huh? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Ava.
It makes me mad because people can't tell me answers.
People what?
People can't tell me answers.
Can you give a specific example of what you mean?
Like when I do my math, some people like around me are telling answers to me, and I don't want them to tell me the answers.
Okay, so we're gonna stop for a second. Over there in the corner. Guys, where should our attention be right now? On Ava, she's the one speaking. So we're gonna give her our full attention and respect during this time. Okay? So she's saying she doesn't like it because she wants to try her best, but she's getting disruptive because other people are talking during that time that people argue. So let's make sure we're listening and so we can talk about this later. Okay, Machisaga? Oh, it brings a lot of confusion during learning? Yeah, it makes it really hard to learn, huh? Thank you. Okay. So, thank you all for sharing. That was really good. And I hope that kind of helps you see that when we argue and be disruptive during learning, it really affects us. It doesn't only affect our learning, but it also just affects our relationships with each other, you know, and it makes the environment very hostile and doesn't feel as safe. So what I want you to do now is I want you, you're going to have 1 minute to do this. I want you to get with a partner, just the person next to you, and talk with them. What are some ways to handle this situation? How can we approach these situations when this happens? Just talk about it, brainstorm, and then we'll come back in the circle, okay? And then some of you can share. Okay, go ahead and start talking to each other for 1 minute.
You can solve this. That's not happening. I think I go and should talk to the teacher about it, or
If somebody,
I'd say I'll ask you nicely stop.
This isn't your space.
and I didn't like it.
Stop. Or go away. I would feel upset and I wouldn't like it.
So how could you solve the situation? Or what could you do to help the situation, Lucy?
I would ask them to stop.
And what happens if they don't stop? What could you do?
Tell them to stop.
Okay. And most likely the teacher will see it happening, right? Because it's happening during our learning time.
Yeah.
So just asking to stop is almost good enough, huh? Yeah. What'd you boys say?
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, but how could you solve the problem?
I could ask them to someone else.
Okay.
Go somewhere else.
Okay, so I'm going to give you both a warning because you're not following Miss Angela's expectations while we were in our circle time.
Is that what I was supposed to be doing?
Oh my God.
Cheston, what did you say?
I said tell a teacher.
Okay, but the teacher's seeing it happen. Pretend we're up on the carpet and there's two students that are bickering with each other. What could you do to help solve that?
Try. I could tell them that it's learning time, and when the teacher is talking, the learning time is on the teacher.
Good. Amelia, will you hold that to Marcus and get his response real quick?
Try to help them figure it out.
How would you try and help? Like, what would you tell them? Like, if you're on the carpet, how would you ask them to stop?
Please stop.
You would tell them to please stop? That's a good one. That's a good one.
Touch them with soap.
Well, no, we won't do that.
Let's group back when I get down to 0, 5, 4. I'm going to move over here to the front. Okay, can I go right here? 3. Please stand up. 2. And 1. 0. Thank you. So, I hope you guys had some good discussions with your neighbors. I'm going to go ahead and give a chance for some people to share what they said. So remember, you're sharing what are some ways you would approach the situation if your classmates are arguing, okay? I want you to really express yourself, and remember, this is hypothetical. You might not always do this, but what do you think is the best way to handle the situation, okay? I'm going to start with Bella. Okay, Bella, make sure you speak up.
One time, somebody was like, saying that this is not your space, and I didn't like it, so I said to stop. They didn't stop, so I told Miss Stewart.
So you told the teacher, so letting the teacher know what's going on. That's good, okay? I'm gonna write this on the board while you talk.
Asking to please stop.
Asking to please stop, that's very good. Thank you, Delante.
Approaching and say, you guys can't fight because we're in the middle of learning, and if they get stop, I would just tell the teacher.
You would just tell the teacher, good, okay?
Is that fair?
Thank you, Delante.
Two heads stick alike.
Okay, Ava?
When we were at recess, and then it was time to line up, all the kindergarten boys walking on the stairs when the cones were on the stairs, and I tell them to get off, and then a girl behind me, she said I couldn't, but I didn't. I was in my spot, and then I went to tell the kindergartens to get off, and then someone in front of me, they said I couldn't, but I did. And then I talked to Miss K. She said I could get my spot back. Well, that was making me feeling sad.
But you talked to Miss K, and she helped you? Okay, Montisaga?
If they won't stop, then ask them to be in level 0. But if they won't stop, then ask the teacher.
Okay, thanks, Montisaga.
That's what I said. If they don't stop fighting, you can
That's really good. Okay, Juliana? You can ignore them, okay. Alright, ignore the fighting. Okay, do you have anything, Isaiah? Do you feel like that's a solution though to the problem? No, so what's a solution? So what would help you not to get angry during that? So, you know, what are some ways so that you don't get angry? What would you do so you don't get upset during the argument? What could you do? Take deep breaths. That's really good. Take deep breaths until you're calmed down. You could do that. What if you were the person arguing? Do you think that's a good idea? To take deep breaths and walk away?
Well, separate yourself.
Separate yourself. Thank you. That's good. Thanks, Isaiah. Okay.
Let them leave the devil.
Let them what?
Just let them leave.
Just leave them alone? What if they just kept going though? You're just not sure what to do? That's okay. That's why we're sharing. Thank you. Thanks, Charlie. Go ahead, Mark.
Marcus.
Okay, Marcus. You don't have anything? Okay. Cheston. Passing?
I have something about passing.
Why don't you share it?
Because I forgot what I said.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Christian?
I would move.
You would move? You would move to a different spot? That's good. So you're not distracted anymore? Okay. Just remove yourself from the situation. Nathan? It's okay.
I'm trying to keep myself together.
Can you explain what that means, keeping yourself together?
Not burst with anger.
Not bursting out with anger. Okay. What helps you not burst out with anger? So having something else to distract you? Okay, how can you stay focused on learning if people are fighting? How would you want to diffuse the situation from happening?
Plug my ears.
What?
My ears.
Oh, plug your ears, but then you can't hear what's going on. You can't hear the teacher or what to do.
Or just try my best to zone away from them.
Just to zone out from them? Okay. Well, thank you, Nathan, for sharing that. Okay. Guys, those are really some great answers. I like that everyone gave something for the most part, and what you shared was really helpful. So I want you guys all to come over to the carpet and take a seat. Make sure you're not in each other's ways. Our voices are still at a level 0. Okay. So, you all ready? So that was really helpful to hear and kind of get some ideas of when people are arguing, what some ways that we can help the situation, because that does happen from time to time. So we're gonna now move away from the person seeing people arguing to moving and discussing about those who are arguing. Okay, so if you're someone that's arguing, or you know, if someone is picking on you, or just something is distracting you because of fighting, or you're just not getting along, I want you guys to think about these 2 phrases that I'm gonna show you, because these are very helpful for when those kind of things are happening. The first one, if you've ever heard of it, it's called the golden rule. Has anyone ever heard of the golden rule? Raise your hand if you have.
I heard the golden rule.
Okay, so some of you have heard of it. So can I have Mark, can you please read the golden rule for me?
Treat others as you would like to be treated.
Okay, can you guys all see that? Treat others as you would like to be treated. Okay, and the second one, okay,
I just wanted to see.
remember we just talked about treat others how you want to be treated. So,
But I couldn't see.
that's okay. Okay, so what's the second one say? Ava,
If you can't be kind,
if you can't be kind,
be quiet.
be quiet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about this for a second. So the first one you read, treat others as you would want to be, as you would like to be treated. Can someone give me an example of that? Miss Ayel, what's an example of that?
Like somebody's being rude to you, and you're like, no, I don't care.
So you just saying, you know, I'm not gonna let that affect me if someone's being mean to me. Instead, you're gonna treat them with kindness, right?
But if the other part
Uh-huh.
is like, if you don't ignore it, then you will both get in trouble.
Right, and you'll both be off task, right? Yes.
If there's somebody that's sad, you can help them. And when you get sad, they might help you too, since you help them when they're sad.
That's really good. So it's like a ripple effect. So when we treat others as we want to be treated, then others will start doing the same. What kind of environment do you think that would create in our classroom? Someone raise their hand. Nathan, a good one. Can you expand? How would that create a good environment if we're all treating each other how we want to be treated? Do you want help from a neighbor to answer that?
I will choose.
Just pick anyone you'd like.
Because these are all good friends.
Okay, 5, 4.
Ava.
Okay. Do you need me to repeat it? Okay, so how would that make a good environment if we were treating others how we wanted to be treated? How could that create a good environment to learn in? It would what? In a good way? It would create a good environment? Okay.
It will create kindness, and when the whole class starts doing it, there won't be any problems of where people might need to sit, or if people can't sit by each other.
That's really good, right? Because everyone is being respectful to each other and kind. I really like that you pointed that out. Thank you. Okay, what about the second phrase? If you can't be kind, be quiet. If you can't be kind, be quiet. Lucy,
If you can't say nice words, just be quiet.
just be quiet, right?
No.
So what if I was someone, let's say I was one of your classmates, and I started talking loud or was being obnoxious and disrupting? Do you think you'd want to turn to me and just yell at me probably? Or be like, be quiet,
Yeah.
right? Do you think that's the best way?
No.
That would probably, how would that make someone feel if you just turned and yelled at them? Sad, it would not make them feel good.
I would say if you can't be kind, be quiet.
Okay, yep. So what about if, let's just say there was something different about someone, right? Not that they're doing anything bad, there was just something different, like just anything, like their physical appearance, their actions. Would you speak something that could hurt them? No. Why don't we do that?
Because it's rude.
Okay, hold on. Lucy?
Because it's not nice.
Because it's not nice. And then that creates a what kind of environment? Miss Ayel, what kind of environment does it create?
A bad environment.
A bad environment. And can we learn in those kind of environments well?
No.
No. So we need to kind of remember these, okay? Will these be helpful for you? to remember. So if you're about to get in a fight or just something happens where the situation starts to turn bad, try to remind yourself of both of these sayings in your mind, and then come back to the situation and see if you can approach it better. Okay? Thank you so much for allowing me to come up here and teach you and share with you, and you guys sharing with me as well. Do you guys have any questions about this topic and that we talked about? Ms. Sayel.
What if the world was
Monty.
really just kind?
What if that's a great question. What if the whole world was kind?
That'd be good.
That would be great.
I would be
Hold on. Oh,
I would be not mean.
raise your hand. Ava.
It seems like a good way if all the classmates were quiet, and then like when the classmates go everywhere, they will be quiet. Then do we like get a point?
Oh, you're saying if we can be respectful and kind, do we get a point for that? I think that your reward is a good place to learn and just happy relationships. That's the reward in itself, right?
And a good life.
And a good life, yeah. Go ahead.
What if if you're being nice to somebody and then when something happened to you, they're mean to you?
Great question. Okay, can someone answer that? If you're being nice to someone and they're still being mean to you, what do you think the response? Even if it's a hard one, what do you think is a good response? Mark, you had your hand up first. Go ahead.
If someone was being
Mean to you when you're being kind to them.
and if you're being kind to them, then just don't say anything to them and just ignore them
Mhm.
because they just want your attention.
Mhm. Yeah.
Don't talk to them.
Just don't get back into it, and you just continue on your way. Okay. One more question, and then we gotta finish. Okay. Isaiah.
What if everybody was being rude and only one person was being kind?
Oh, that's a tough one. So if everyone was being rude, that one person was being kind. Well, I think that you would need to go to an adult, right, to ask for help, because an adult will be willing to help you. Any of the teachers here are here, and they stand for kindness, and they stand for, being respectful to others, so they would help you out. So if that situation happened, okay? Okay, well, thank you all, and we can talk about this more later if you have more questions, okay?
But you know how